I'm 680 News Senior Business Editor Mike Eppel. Drivers can expect to see, perhaps, a drop in price of the gas pumps in coming days. We've seen the price for oil cool off dramatically over the month of May. Up until the end of April, oil was the best performing asset class on the markets, up 45%. And then all of a sudden we started getting, well, rising trade risks related to the U.S. and China and more oil production out of the U.S. than ever before, record-breaking daily output by American producers. Price for oil today was down by more than 4%, and it closed shy of $56 per barrel. The Canadian benchmark, Western Canadian Select, below $40 per barrel all of a sudden, and that price gap widening once again. Is it a case of Canadian investment chill? Canada's energy and mining companies invested a lot of money in the first quarter. They did so, though, outside our borders, record-breaking foreign investment by Canadian resource companies. Analysts saying this has a lot to do with the fact about still looking at pipeline constraints in the energy sector, regulatory oversight, and just the freer flow of money going to the U.S. Canadian energy and mining companies putting $17 billion to work outside Canada in the first quarter. Big banks, big earnings. Second quarter numbers in from the big six Canadian banks have been good, as many expected, but perhaps not as good for investors who actually have been selling these stocks. They're worried about the banks having to set aside more money to cover potentially bad loans with rising consumer debts and a slowing mortgage market. The biggest of the banks, the Royal and the TD, both made over $3 billion in the second quarter. National Bank today rounded things out with a $500 million profit, raised the dividend, yet the stock was down today, and it was one of the leaders to the downside on the TSX. Well, Beyond Meat, what a month for this protein-based meat substitute company. Debuted on May 1st, $25 a share. Today, cleared $100 US. As it has skyrocketed, some speculation that McDonald's could consider a vegan substitute burger for the Big Mac or Quarter Pounder. No confirmation of that today, but Beyond Meat still up on the trading day on Wall Street. And hey, parents, you are as addicted to your smartphone as your kids. A study by Common Sense Media indicates that a lot of kids are actually worried about how much time their parents are spending on the smartphone. In fact, upwards of 39% of teenagers want their parents to stop checking their smartphone as frequently as they do, and 38% of teens believe their parents are just as addicted to their smartphone as their kids. They're saying that a lot of them are checking before bedtime, and this is affecting sleep patterns. So, from the 680 Business Center, I'm Mike Eppel. Let's go Raptors for City News.